Hey everybody, Coach Hammock here, coming to you from beautiful Georgetown, Texas, in room 122 here at Benold. Wanted to present a video about some of the stuff we were talking about in class this week. Domain range, trying to find it off of a coordinate plane when given a graph, and just kind of reviewing this. I've got some graphs on this video just to show you a few examples and kind of what we're going to be looking for. Alright, so first, start off, domain. Our domain is going to be our x values. All right, the x values. It's our independent values, and that's represented by x. Our range is going to be our y values. All right, so remember, left, right, top, bottom. All right, so let's take a look at this first one. We're trying to find the domain and range off this. Now this is a segment, it's array, and you can see that this coordinate right here is going to be -4, -4. So I'm going to go ahead and label that right here, -4, -4. So we're wanting our domain and we're wanting our range. Well, the way I want y'all doing this, and it's a real easy way, if you go through and either box off or draw a box around it, what it is, where the line is, or in this case, where the line isn't, it's going to be the easiest way. What I'm going to do, since this is array, I'm going to start right here and I'm going to box off everything that's smaller or that's to the left of our line. We have the dot here, and that includes point -4, -4. And so it's going to be everything on this side. That is not included. Okay? And then we're going to do the same for our y values. And so we're going to block off all of this area right here. So when we look at this, our domain is going to be from this point on, and our range is going to be from this point on. So if our domain, x, has to be greater than, and then because it was filled in, or equal to -4. See how our x value right here is -4, and so x is greater than or equal to -4. Everything to the right of -4. Now for our range, that's going to be our up and down value, our dependent variable. Okay, and that's going to be virtually the same thing in this, or not virtually, it is the same thing. Since it's -4, -4, y has to be greater than or equal to -4. Now you'll see this line keeps going on for infinity. That means every number greater than or equal to -4 for x and -4 for y will be in this system. Okay, so if you can come over to -3, and if you have an independent quality of, or independent value of -3, you're going to have a dependent value of -3 right there. Let's move on to another example. Alright, so right here we have this segment. Now with a segment, there's two different ways you can do it. One is to just draw a box around the segment, right like that, and that's all included. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I like to do what's not included so that I can see what's in the middle. Okay, so we're right here. I see that it goes to this point right here, so I'm going to box everything down here. And then right here, I'm going to box this. And then right here, I'm going to box everything up here. Now, you'll see this segment includes the non-shaded areas right here. So let's label these points. This point over here is going to be -4, 2. And the other end of this segment is 4, -2. Alright, so our domain, it's going to be between 2 points. Now when you have it between 2 points, that's when you're going to put it in the middle. X is going to be in the middle right here. And the lowest point, and I always like to start from left and move right, just like you're reading, or the lowest value to the highest value, is going to be -4. So it's going to be -4 is less than or equal to x. So that's where our x can start. And where can it end? It can end when x is less than or equal to 4. And that's going to be our domain. It's going to be between -4 and 4. Now our range is the same thing from -2 to 2. So -2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2 right there. All right. So here we go. What if it's not an absolute perfect shape or a perfect line or anything like that? Well, it's kind of the same thing. You're going to look and you're going to see what is the top point, what is the bottom point, what is the left point, and what is the right point, and shade accordingly. So I'm going to start with the left. My farthest left coordinate is right here. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to shade everything to the left of that. Well, let's go over to the right. It's right here, and I'm going to shade everything to the right of that. Now, this is kind of tricky right here because our lowest coordinate is right here at -3. So you follow the line, you see your lowest coordinate, and draw your box. And then on the top, our lowest coordinate is actually at the x-axis right there. So we're going to go right there and put that in. Okay, so this is our value right here. Now let's see what we've got. Our lowest x value, or domain, is going to be -3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 3. -3 to 3. Now our range goes from 0 as a high to -3 as a low. So -3 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 0. And that will show that x value can only go down to -3 and can only come up at the highest points, which it has 2 of them right there, at the sides. Okay, so it doesn't matter what shape you have. You could have this beast of a problem right here, whatever. First off, that's not going to be a function, is it? Because the same input gives you 1, 2, 3 different outputs. So let's get rid of that and draw something you might actually see. How about this? We're going to start at 5, 0. We're going to come up there, come down, and end right here. This is going to be an open point, and this will be a closed point. Okay? Definitely we'll see something like this in the future. So and let's say that this actually ends at that 3. I know my art skills, y'all are pretty used to it, I guess. All right, and we'll say that this point right here goes down to -4. All right, oh, match up. There we go. All right, so go ahead and write down your answers on this, and we'll see if you got them right. All right, let's see how you did. The lowest point is this -5, so I'm going to box everything to the left. +2 is our high point right there. Our low point is going to be -4, and our upper level is going to be +3. So we've got that right there. Our domain for this problem, -5 is less than only because it's open, x is less than or equal to 2. And then our range is going to be -4 is less than or equal to, because it touches, it can include it, y is less than or equal to 3. All right. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that works out for you. If you have any questions, bring them to class. Again, this is just an extra little video for if you need it. If you already know it, hopefully you didn't spend all 10 minutes watching this, but it's always good to practice a little more. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.